area. This is the side on both sides of the street. Why don't we focus on doing the evaluation, then on the way to the next site we can have a discussion about the pros and cons of sewer.
No, I agree with you.
Okay. So, in terms of non-erodible areas, can we turn the radio off?
Yeah, sorry.
The non-erodible areas are the houses that you can see that have been built. There's another one behind the dumpster here. The area covered by the dumpsters, they're non-erodible too. The erodible areas are all the areas that are covered by this temporary grass you see here on the right, plus the stone. There's 4 inches of it. And then the exposed soil and the partially stabilized areas you see, including the soil stockpile back there. State law and the state manual, standards and specification for erosion sediment control, says that all of these erodible areas have to be stabilized within 14 days after activity on those soils ends. So they have to all be stabilized, first with a layer of mulch as well as grass seed, and they have to keep coming back and maintaining the area until they get 95% coverage with grass, like we kind of have in here. So based on what we can see just from this point here, and what we'll do with all these sites, we'll do the evaluation from a road that's open to the public, like this one is, and based upon what we can see from that point, where we can see the maximum amount of the site. So why don't we start with this lot on the right, and to me it looks like this area within the super silt fence, it probably falls within that 70 to 100% range, which will be completely stabilized. So I put down 100%. It's site 1 for lot 1. I put down 100% for completely stabilized. That lot back there, that's completely non-erodible because the lawn's well established, as well as that lawn back there. So those were the precursors to silt fence. So this is site number 4, and I think that active grading and clearing is 0, and the non-erodible areas will be this paved street, that building, that house.
That construction entrance.
No, that's erodible.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a temporary stabilization.
Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha.
So
you gotta do the lot averaging?
well, I don't think we need to do a lot of averaging. I think the site perimeter is at this tree line. And following the tree line around, what we can see here, non-erodible, what do you think?
Maybe, or that's the road, yeah.
Maybe 15, 20?
20, got the road,
20? So 80% erodible. And of the erodible area, this area in here, I think everything's covered by old mulch or the volunteer vegetation.
Volunteer.
So, and here it looks like mostly volunteer also. This is exposed in here. And of course,
over there.
the interior is mostly exposed, a little bit of mulch there.
So what, 80% completely stabilized, 90?
80?
I think 80 sounds good, huh?
Okay. 80 completely. What, 20 exposed?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the back of it might look like. There's a little bit of straw right here.
Just what we can see here.
Yeah. I think maybe 20 for, we want to do 19 fully exposed and 1 partially stabilized.
Sure. 19, 1, and 80. By the way, Anne Arundel County has a law that's unique for the state. Their law actually says that you got to put a note on the erosion sediment control plan. First of all plans have to have the note from the Code of Maryland regulations that you have to stabilize within 3 to 7 days following the end of active grading, which few follow. But Anne Arundel County also has a note on their plans that says that once you get to the point where the foundation is
Foundation up.
backfilled, before they can build upright, everything's got to be stabilized.
Yes.
So, and that mulch you see there is probably a reflection of that. The trouble is that once they get past that initial construction phase, it's never maintained, it's never repeated. And if it's just mulch, you can't just mulch unless you're in winter. State law says that you got to put down grass seed too if you're in the growing season from March through to the end of October.